Before we continue with the rest of the video, we could use your help. Click the like button to help spread word about Watchjojo animals, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. When this responding officer was attacked by a dog, his police training instantly took over. When the officer knocked on the front door, he expected to be considered an intruder, but what happened next still came as a shock. The household's dog had gone into full family protection mode and went on the attack. But as the teeth sunk into his flesh, the officer knew exactly what to do. In recent years, Round Rock Police Department, RRPD, in Texas, has come under scrutiny for using excessive force against animals. That's because 3 officers were named in a lawsuit by the owner of a Rottweiler back in 2014. The dog died after being shot during a search of the property. Now, however, the department is sending out a completely different message, and it's all thanks to one of its conscientious officers. In August 2015, RRPD fielded a call from a concerned citizen about a local incident. Apparently, there was a disturbance in the man's neighbourhood. Consequently, war veteran Jeff Whiteman made a call to the local police department. During the report, Whiteman warned the dispatcher that he wasn't home alone, which could be a complication. Not only was he accompanied by his 4-year-old son, but his dog, Jillaroo, was also present. The dog, an Australian Shepherd, was fiercely protective of her family. Jillaroo is aggressive by nature and necessity, KVUE explained on August 12, 2015. Whiteman served 2 tours overseas in Afghanistan and Iraq, leaving Jillaroo to protect the home in his absence. And so when investigating officer Randall Frederick attended the scene, he was fully aware of the issue. However, Whiteman had intended to put Jillaroo away before the police visited. The officer's early call showed great response time, but unfortunately it also resulted in an undesirable situation. The officer arrived and rang the doorbell earlier than I expected, Whiteman recounted in a letter to the RRPD. I ran downstairs, but my son was already at the door with our dog. Jillaroo witnessed the arrival of the stranger and had leapt to the worst conclusion. Clearly, Jillaroo had seen a stranger approaching her family and thought that they were under attack. Fearing that her humans might get hurt, the dog flung herself into the path of the intruder. Then, when she was between the child and the stranger, Jillaroo made her move. Whiteman wrote, "That's because it was a little bit nerve-wracking, because I was watching the dog bite Frederick. Jillaroo actually bit the officer in the leg, not once, but twice. Then, however, Frederick surprised everyone. The officer responded completely contrary to how you might expect. That's because Frederick seemed to anticipate the dog's intentions and didn't fight back. Neither did he draw his weapon. In fact, he made no sudden movements at all. The officer was slowly backing up and trying to get the dog to calm down with outstretched hands," Whiteman wrote in his letter. Officer Frederick's cool disposition prevented the situation from escalating, thus giving Whiteman enough time to intercede. Then, when the pair were separated, Frederick proved to be even more level-headed. Much to Whiteman's admiration, the officer carried on doing his job without the slightest bit of fuss. Whiteman explained that the officer continued as if nothing had happened. "He took my report about the issue I had originally called about in a very calm and professional manner," he wrote. Frederick even apologised for not calling first, which Whiteman stated was appreciated, but unnecessary. Moreover, although Jillaroo's bites had been warnings, she still managed to cause a bit of bruising. Worse, her teeth had punctured Frederick's skin and induced some minor bleeding. However, none of this seemed to concern the police officer. Indeed, Frederick was nonplussed by the whole ordeal, for which he has been commended. But what happened to Jillaroo? As previously mentioned, there had been cases in the past where officers have felt threatened and reacted violently. It follows that this incident could have easily turned out just like those, and if it had, even Whiteman confessed he would have been hard-pressed to blame Frederick. However, Frederick had no intention of taking matters any further. Whiteman's letter outlined what happened next. Protocol necessitated he call in the bite, understandable, so that Animal Control could take a report, he wrote. Animal Control took a report and did a rabies vaccination check, the letter went on. Additionally, Jillaroo was quarantined to the house for the regulation 10 days. But that's where it ended. The officer did not strike back against my dog during the incident, Whiteman continued. Officer Frederick did not act disproportionately. He did not file charges or wish Jillaroo punished. Instead, he said she was just doing her job. Whiteman's letter emphasised, "It seemed that the RRPD has taken past allegations seriously and taken steps to prevent anything similar happening again. In fact, the RRPD has created a training programme called BARK, Be Aware of Residential Canines. Through it, the department hopes to educate officers on how to deal with aggressive civilian dog situations. And judging by Officer Frederick's shining example, it seems the programme is an effective one." Furthermore, on August 11, 2015, Frederick was awarded with the Chief's CHIP Challenge coin. CHIP is an acronym for Community Honour, Integrity and Pride. Both Whiteman and Jim Stewart, RRPD's police commander, were no doubt ecstatic to see the officer Frederick achieve such recognition for his actions. "I want everyone to know that in Round Rock TX we have some pretty darn fine police officers," Whiteman wrote. His letter concluded, "This little incident would show you what kind of calibre people we have protecting us. I will be shaking all RRPD officers' hands when I see them from now on." Please do not forget to share this video with your friends below. Please do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell to receive everything that is new.